Now, we've talked about making sure that you spend less than you earn and being mindful of your spending. It just means that you have to understand what material possessions actually make you happier the most in relation to the money you've spent on it. You have to be upfront with yourself and assess which of the stuff that you have in your life is worth paying for when it comes to value, and what are just fleeting feelings of happiness over a purchase. This is Intelligentsia, real life advice for practical and financial goals. What we want to talk about today is to help budget your money in the goal of cutting back on unnecessary purchases. So let's get to it. When you think of cutting back on expenses, most people would say that you should start off with luxuries. While there may be some truth to that, it's not always realistic. You can't always just cut out things that make your life interesting, but you have to be mindful of it when it comes to spending money on it. For the most part, your funds are a finite source, and you can't just spend money like there's no tomorrow. One of our first examples is eating out. I don't think it's any surprise that if you eat out a lot, your expenses will rack up. For those that prepare their meals and eat at home, you save up on a lot of money over time. The reason for this is when you eat out, you spend money getting there, for the service, and for the resources the restaurant uses to cook your meal and the space they're paying for. You pay for a lot of different things that you can avoid when you eat at home instead. When you eat at home, sure, it takes more effort, but if you prepare your meals and divide up your tasks, you save up on a lot of money. The only things that you pay for when you eat at home are the ingredients and utilities. Apart from that, you also have the freedom to choose how you like your food. This is perfect for people who are allergic to certain ingredients and would like to be more careful with their intake. This is usually what you look out for when you eat out, but when you control the food that you eat, it gets much easier. This also goes for our second example, which is buying convenience store food. If you're someone that likes to go to 24-hour convenience stores because of their accessibility, you have to understand that they're generally marked up because of their ease of access. If you're someone that stocks up on supplies when you're at home, you'll save up money by not paying the markups from convenience stores. And this adds up too. Let's say a convenience store marks up the price of a carbonated drink that you like by $1 and some cents. If it's a regular item that you buy every day, over the course of a month, then that's at least $30 save, and you're not even cutting back on consumption. Of course, buying something in bulk can look like it's a daunting purchase, but if you budget your money and look at it as money spent over time, you'd be amazed at how much you'll save over the course of a few weeks. This also solves a couple of spending problems like impulse spending. We've talked about convenience store markups, but when you're there, it's likely that you won't stop with what you just bought. Most cases, some people tend to buy other things because they're cheap, and it's easy to think that since you're already there, you might as well buy it. But the more you do this, the more you build up the habit that you have enough money for two things. So you buy another thing that you didn't originally plan on buying. That's money that could have been spent elsewhere, and the habit could have been avoided by budgeting and understanding what you actually need. When impulse spending, you often only think of how much money you have and if you can afford the thing you're currently looking at. And for a lot of people, they go on shopping sprees as a result when they get their pay. While they aren't necessarily bad, you do have to understand that the satisfaction that you get from it might only last for a bit, and you won't need most of what you buy as much as you think. On the topic of shopping sprees, our next example is fast fashion. There are a lot of clothing stores these days that offer cheap and easy clothing options. You have to understand that buying more clothes doesn't always mean that you have a good wardrobe. If your pieces are trendy and are likely to go out of style in a matter of weeks, you're very likely to never wear them ever again. Instead, what we suggest is that you buy pieces that are timeless. Basics that have good quality and can last you for years are good parts of any wardrobe. While quality clothing can be expensive up front, the fact that they last for years is money well spent and money saved on keeping your wardrobe updated because your clothes keep getting ruined. When we say quality clothing, we don't necessarily mean brand name clothing that costs you a lot of money because of the logo slapped onto it. If the materials used and the craftsmanship are good, then you'll be fine. Which brings us to our next point, which are brand name products. For a lot of people, owning the latest gadgets, clothing, or accessories means that you're trendy, and while it feels good for a while, trends come and go. You have to understand that when you buy these things, while they're still around, you're very likely not to use them once their popularity phases out. What we mean by this is that if you buy things for the express reason that they're popular and you're buying into the hype, then you won't have what you bought for too long. Sure, you still have them, but they aren't necessarily the same thing that you bought them for. What you need to understand here is that it's one thing to buy into a product's hype, and it's another thing to buy something because you know you'll use it even after it's not popular anymore. If you buy a $3,000 phone and then you buy an upgraded version of the same thing the next year for $3,500, you're essentially paying double for one thing and additional for the added features. And with the way technology moves nowadays, you're likely to buy an even newer phone in the years to come. While it's not necessarily a bad thing to upgrade your material possessions, it's not always going to be as valuable as the money you put into it. Unless you have a genuine need for newer features that you feel you'll use more in the future, the fact that you're essentially buying the same thing means that you're spending twice as much for something that only brings you short-term happiness for the amount of money spent. Since we're talking about keeping up with updated versions of things you already have, most of the time, older models go on sale at a cheaper price. When things are on sale, you're almost always going to think of buying it. Things on sale are things that people go for because of the discounts involved. You're going to think that you're saving up on money by buying them while they're on sale, when in reality, you're spending money on something that you don't even know if you want or not. There's a difference between something that's on sale that you're gonna buy anyway and something that's on sale that you didn't even consider buying before. The important thing to understand here is that things go on sale for a reason, and whether it's clearing inventory or if the store wants to push a certain item to be popular, if it's not something that aligns with what you want to buy, then the discounted price isn't always a good thing for you. While you save up money if you actually want to buy it in the future, you're still spending money and you have to be mindful of how you spend it. Those are just some examples of things to look out for in terms of what you buy, and some examples of things that actually cause you to spend more than you need. If you enjoyed this video and found us helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'd like to be able to grow alongside you, and we're pumped to have you in our next video. Stay mentally healthy, and let's get financially fit together.